In an effort to mend ties, the Trump administration has told Turkey it will move Kurdish fighters from the Syrian town of Manbij. The town near Turkey's border has become a symbol of competition for territory and influence among the United States, Turkey, and some regional powers. The American pledge, if kept, would satisfy Turkey's long-standing demand to keep the Kurdish forces east of the Euphrates. If kept, on the other hand, the Kurds would feel a great sense of betrayal. They helped take Manbij from Daesh in 2016 and have been there since.
I think it's likely, whether it's now or later, that the U.S. will betray the Kurds. But this is betrayal of the Kurds is like goes back to Woodrow Wilson. I mean, everybody betrays the Kurds. I think it was Andrew Korbico wrote a piece last year, is it even possible to betray the Kurds? For one thing, they're not a uniform group. It's divisive, and there's different factions, and so that's one of the problems. But I think Washington knows very well that they need Turkey far more than they need the Kurdish fighters they've been using in Syria.
The U.S. relationship with Turkey has been deteriorating in recent years for what both sides have been doing and seeking after the war broke out in Syria. The possibility of a deal over Manbij has at least temporarily cooled temperatures. After all, as the two sides agree, a shootout between two NATO members would be catastrophic. If the dispute escalates, the U.S. may lose the strategic privilege of using military bases in Turkey, while Turkey might face sanctions detrimental to its economy.
The United States needs Turkey. They need the air base. It's a NATO country. It's a large NATO country, and it has a large army, and the United States is not going to do anything to irreparably damage its relationship with Turkey. The Kurds, on the other hand, are useful at times, but they also are of little lasting importance in all of this.
Far from clear if the improvement in relations will last and if the U.S. could persuade the Kurds to pull back. No timeline for moving the Kurds from Manbij to positions east of the Euphrates has been given so far.
Turkey is a strange situation, and one that isn't easily explained in a few sentences. It's very complicated. And part of that is because Erdogan's so unpredictable and he himself is so contradictory. So we're dealing with, Erdogan and Trump. I mean, it's almost comical. But the Kurds will, from their point of view, be betrayed, I suspect, and they will be removed from northern Syria at some point. And if not, then we're going to see a very interesting and volatile situation with possibly having two NATO countries in conflict with each other and actually shooting at each other, and that's something that I think the U.S. very clearly doesn't want to have happen.
The warming of relations, however, is already coming at a cost to the United States. Disappointed by Washington, the Kurdish forces say they're withdrawing from the front lines of the fight against Daesh in southern Syria to join the battle against Turkey in the north. U.S. commanders previously warned that several hundred American troops would defend the Kurds against any attack by Turkish troops. Now, by turning their backs on the Kurds, the Americans once more prove to be unreliable when they should play their promised role.